I've just come to terms with the fact that this whole Trump trials update is going to be also me sweating. So, you also come to terms with that fact. Here we are, ready to talk about the timeline of the upcoming trials for Donald J. Trump. I am super excited about this because this has been a long time coming and there's lots to pay attention to, and we are going to be very, very busy. But we get a holiday break too, which is nice because, you don't want to have to pay attention when there's family around. Blah, blah, blah. So, a schedule of the Trump trials. We start this month. We start at the end of this month. We have a hearing in D.C. to discuss the actual trial date for defendant Donnie in front of the Honorable Judge Chutkan, and it will be Jack Smith who is, of course, making the arguments. Judge Chutkan has already proven that she don't take no mess, and so she is not playing around. She has told Donald Trump that if she told the whole courtroom that anybody who is intimidating witnesses, making it harder to get a jury pool, making it harder for witnesses to come to court for fear of their safety, then we're just going to have to do this faster. And that's why my guess is mid to late January, even though people smarter than me have been saying February. I'm totally fine with being wrong in that. However, I think that defendant Donnie is not going to be able to help himself, and it's his fault that the trial is going to be moved up. We'll see how that goes. So, anyway, next up is Fani Willis. Fani Willis, the Fulton County District Attorney in Georgia. She is bringing the false electors case against Donald Trump and a bunch of other people. We're thinking, in the neighborhood of like a dozen or more, and those indictments are going to be really exciting. Now, the reason we think this is coming down this month is because she said, I am going to be finished with this and announcing my indictment decisions before September 1st. So she's been really on point with her timeline up until this point, minus the whole, imminent thing, but when she's given us an actual timeline, it has been accurate. So, this month, we are going to be hearing whether or not she's going to be announcing charges. And because I think she will be announcing charges, September, my guess, is a hearing to set the date for the trial in Georgia. I'm really excited about that one. October 2nd. New York Attorney General Tish James has the opportunity to go to trial and recoup millions of dollars from the Trump Organization, Donald Trump, and his adult children, except for Ivanka, because what the hell is that? But regardless, I don't want to get mad about that right now. This is great because it would not only get millions of dollars back from that family, but it would also prohibit them from doing business in the state of New York for, I think, a period of 5 years. And how beautiful is that? And then it's the holidays. Yay! Like I said, in January, my prediction is I think we're going to have some January 6th action. But I might be wrong about that. And, like I said, that's fine with me. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know these things. I'm just sort of sniffing the breeze, if you will. But that's what I think is going to happen. And I think that, so Judge Chutkan specifically told him, you cannot do anything to intimidate the jury pool. And you cannot do anything to taint the jury pool or intimidate the witnesses. And he is still doing both of those things. And, I'm also not a psychologist. Let's just go on all the things that I'm not. No, I'm not a psychologist, and I don't know what's wrong with him, but he can't seem to help himself. I do have a 5-year-old. I've seen the behavior before. And then in March, we get to have more fun with Alvin Bragg and Stormy Daniels. And Michael Cohen, who was like bad boy turns good boy. If you haven't watched him on the Midas Touch Network, whether that's the Mea Culpa podcast or Political Beatdown, he is just so much fun, and I can't say enough about how you should be watching Michael Cohen. But anyway, they are going to court, and they are telling the world how in the first criminal trial against Donald Trump to actually be on the books, we have Cook in the books. He made a bunch of payments to Stormy Daniels through Michael Cohen and then lied in the documents, and that's what he's in trouble for, about what those payments were for, to cover it up so that it wouldn't be exposed that he had an affair with a porn star before the election. And then finally scheduled for May at this point, but who knows what the corrupt judge in that case is going to do. We have the final of the cases to be scheduled at this point, which is the Mar-a-Lago documents case. That is being seen in front of Judge Cannon. You'll notice she has googly eyes. We're not impressed with Judge Cannon. And her just sort of radical interpretation of the law, and her taking legal pointers from Fox News and not the people in the actual courtroom. But regardless, it's going to be crazy to see what happens with the Mar-a-Lago documents case. I don't think she'll actually be on the case much longer. I don't think you can make this many obvious sort of like calls for the other side and not get called out. So we'll see how Jack Smith decides to handle this, because I feel like ultimately the ball's in her court. Once he takes this to the 11th Circuit, they're going to be like, yeah, this is not okay. So there you have it, folks. So much going on. We are going to have, just like a solid year of trial to pay attention to, with a nice little holiday break there in the middle. So, we'll see how this all goes. Follow along with me. This is important for democracy. We all have to show up and vote in 2024, and we want to be armed with actual facts when we go and talk to our friends and neighbors and relatives that may still speak to us who happen to vote the other way. So pay attention to this stuff, okay? We're out here trying to save democracy. Oh my God, you know what I just realized? August to May, that's a school year. We're going back to school, kids.